All right, so my son's having a meltdown because he wants to go play outside. I told him not today, but kids, they want to do what they want to do when they want to do it. So we'll start by giving honor and thanks to our ancestors, spirit guides, and higher self. So you guys take a second. You can either have your hands out like this. I usually put mine like this in a mudra. I don't know if it's like a real one. I kind of made it up, but I usually do this. It's comfortable for me. I'm gonna take a second to just give thanks and meditate on the vibration of gratitude as we start this transmission. And you guys just make sure when you pull your breath in, you bring all the way down to the root through the back of the spine. When you exhale, bring it up the front of the chakras. So and that is one way to tune yourself. And it's so in alignment because we'll be talking about what's up, Joseph? What's up, Justice? It's nice to see you here. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna turn this music off in a second because meditation music makes me want to take a nap. Actually, I'll just turn it off now. All right. So I posted a question yesterday in a couple groups, and I'm doing a little multitasking really quick. Let me just unplug this. So I posted a question yesterday in groups and on my page because I wanted to see what everybody thought the chakras were. Now, I've been meditating for, I don't know, I'm 29, probably since I was about 19, 20. I meditated before anyone knew what it was. I tried to hold classes. I love this story. I held like a meditation class and I was like, really like, people are going to love this. It's going to be great. I had to be 22, 23. I was like, this is going to be awesome. First of all, it was in the fall, so it was a little chilly that day, but I thought, man, people will come out. It's sunny out. People are definitely going to come out to meditate. And yeah, so long story short, nobody showed up. I meditated by myself. I had a great meditation. I got to walk around the park. It was very relaxing. But I was, what are you doing? In and out. Come on. I'm not doing this right now. Okay, fine. Sorry, had to be a mom for 2 seconds. So it really was something that like I thought would be like this great thing, and you get wide-eyed and hopeful that other people would love it too, and turned out that nobody was into meditating at the time. Now some people are onto it and onto the path, and some people aren't, and that's okay. Everybody has their own individual path, so there's no judgment against that. You come online when you're ready. It's really an individualized experience. No, Renee, I was not praying. I was in a meditation and just giving thanks. Um, if you don't connect with your ancestors, you should, because they really, really want to help you more than you could ever understand. Um, yeah, so um, essentially that led me to really start to work with my own chakra system. And as I began to work with my own chakra system and go deeper and deeper into my practice of meditation, I mean, it's been a journey. It's been a long journey. It's been a lot of reading. It's been a lot of just doing this work very intuitively and following that intuition. Let your spirit be your guide, I guess. Let your soul be your guide. Let your intuition guide you. And that's just what I continuously do. I will always do. And it's worked out very well because when you're in a space that nobody else understands what you're doing, nobody else can really even like, they just have no, they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, what do you think you're doing? Because they're so trapped in the, way we're all caught up in this way that we think we're supposed to be. And it's so funny because you put off your child self thinking that now that I pay bills and do all these things, I'm an adult. And then you regress and you realize that you're acting like a child, not an adult. And then you start to learn your child self again. And once your child self really is in a space of balance, things in your existence really do begin to balance out. There's been a lot of lessons through these like 10 years of just doing this. I really learned the power of gratitude. Gratitude. And that's why beginning of every live stream, I just give thanks. I just have gratitude. Gratitude moves things. That, and then another big lesson for me was sincere acts of service. The sincere acts of service have changed my life because everybody wants, even your family members and stuff that love you, and even when they're acting like assholes, they all want something from you that you may not be giving them. And because you're not giving them what they want, and it might not even be something material, it might just be time, it might be attention, you start to alienate yourself from them and from the connection that the two of you could share. And that's very unfortunate that we do that, because we are constantly in a space of not understanding others and where we want to actually blame other people for our misfortunes or for being misguided. So that's something that a lot of people need to start to work on and look into. Stop blaming other people for your misfortunes. It's not their fault. Stop blaming people for being human. They're human. You know, your parents, they're not gods. They're just human beings trying to figure it out. And they don't owe you anything. The whole world owes you nothing. Nothing at all. You came here for some lessons, and hopefully while you're here, you can accomplish what you came here to do. But that's really the work. That's what's most important. Now, that's my little interlude. That's just what was on my heart, honestly. Now, let's speak on the chakra systems. Let's get into my topic here. And I pulled up my blog. I didn't give you guys a link to the blog post that goes with this video. I typically will do a blog post to go with every video so that, you know, if you want something to read also or something you can always refer back to, I typically will do a blog post for you. Now, so some of the answers yesterday to my question that I posed were very interesting. A lot of heads in the clouds type of stuff. Feet definitely not on the ground at all whatsoever. There were a few people that got it, and I was very happy for that. I was like, yeah, people get this. Most people said things like, oh, they're portals, but your chakras are portals. Oh, they're cosmic gateways. They are. Oh, they're black holes. Yeah, they are. My chakras would allow the flow of energy in my body, and truth that you cannot use in any type of practical way to improve your life. And that was the funny part. I was like, truth. Now how is that going to improve your life? And then we have people who think that they are, they do the spiritual thing for fun, which I think I always thought that was a very odd thing, because I was always in my soul first, and then kind of life came after. And I've learned through balancing out my root chakra and things like that to really find the balance. Always been in the crown since I was a kid. My crown was wide open. So I've always been more on the spiritual path. Now, the thing that was interesting is, like, a lot of people don't have yet to understand that you are not a body having a spiritual experience. You're a soul having a human experience. And this is a huge misconception, and it's what's actually keeping a lot of people from really coming to a space that they can really move forward on their spiritual path. And it's a huge issue, because those kinds of people will take this work, and now instead of watching TMZ, they watch their favorite spiritual teachers. But they're not doing anything to really integrate this as a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. It's not a game, it's a lifestyle. You know, it's faith. It's faith in yourself. It's faith that things are going to work out. This really is faith. I mean, in the grandest way, because the only way that you're following is your own way. You're literally having faith in yourself, in your own intuition, in that the rituals that you are doing are working. All this is faith. Do you want to talk about doing something faith-based? Do a ritual. Quit your job, sell your house, sit on a corner and do a ritual. Faith. You have to believe that that motherfucker is going to work. You know? There's no way around it. You're going to have to believe that it works. So this is a discipline that needs to be taken more seriously. It's not a game. Yes, your chakras are these beautiful emittances. They emit this beautiful light and whatever, but if you only have hate, rage, sadness, depression, anxiety, stress in your body, it does not matter all the different ways you're trying to open these chakras and take these herbs and start exercising and do this. Actually, the herbs and the exercising will cause you to have the emotional healing, which is pretty funny because it works hand in hand. But the emotions being out of balance really is the core of it all. And you will have different manifestations and visualizations and symbols. I mean, I had a story I told before where I watched an Aphrodite Stone video. Beautiful sister. If you guys don't know her, please go check her out. She is incredible. And her work has been with me most of my path, on and off. So, you know, she did this video and she was talking about words of power. I'm like, words of power. And she was talking about how words of power, how, you know, there are spiritual entities that when you have trauma will actually attach themselves to your chakra system. So I'm like, trauma? I'm like, whoa, I had a lot of trauma as a child. I was molested when I was a kid. Taught me the great lesson of forgiveness. It taught me the great lesson of forgiving myself. It taught me the great lesson of learning to value myself through being so devalued. So I mean, something supposedly bad that happened to me, I took it and I turned it into like the most beautiful thing that could have happened to me. Because I wasn't gonna let it defeat me. I'm not never a victim, I'm a victor. Everything that happens, I truly believe that there's a lesson for it. And so, you know, I'm listening to, and she's very strong sister, so she starts speaking and talking about how certain entities, when you have trauma like that happen in your life, will actually, they come through usually the back of your chakra systems. Actually, they do it real sneaky, and they'll attach themselves in and feed off of your life force energy or your chi. And I'm like, that's really interesting. And then when she starts speaking these words of power, I'm just watching a playback from one of her live streams, I felt something move in my body, because what happens is these words, they raise your frequency, and a lower vibrating spiritual entity that's attached to you, or energy, they can't take certain frequencies. So as your frequency raises, shit really starts to move. It's like shaking up a can of soda, or it's like taking Yeah, shaking up a can of soda is probably the best way. And it becomes expansive, just like how your aura and your light body, everything becomes more expansive. Um, so so she started talking about universal law and how these entities know that you don't know, so they try to attach themselves to you. So what were the words? She said, she says, "You are violating universal law, and I command you to come out of me now." That's how she said it. And so I did that the next day. I went into it and I felt something move in me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it out. So I tried it out. I went into a meditation very deep the next day. And I said those words of power over and over and over again. And yeah, there was an entity. And when you do energy work, you typically learn to go like this to seal the holes in your aura. And it was a badger. And it's weird because I also had a vision in a dream about how this entity attached itself to me. And then I had the experience of actually feeling this energy come out of me. Um, so this is a real thing that happens, and this is why it's so important to learn to balance out your chakra system. Um, because the trauma that you've experienced, the repetitive emotions that keep popping up, look at your emotions as a compass, you know? And when you look at your emotions as a compass, they simply point to the direction of where your life is going. So it's like, so say these are negative emotions: rage, sadness, hate, anger. Okay, I'm not in alignment with my soul. Joy, happiness, satisfaction. Oh, expansion. No, now, oh, I'm more in alignment with my soul. So that's really going to be something very important. And when you can learn to separate your soul from your emotions and then start to use them as a compass and view them a little more objectively, I'm not saying shut down your emotions. I'm saying feel them, but understand that they're just a compass. So if you want a better life where there's no stress or it's very little, where you can release your anxieties, where you can feel happy, where you can feel satisfied, where you can feel joy, you need to begin to come in alignment. I cannot stress this enough. And this is why I tell people that every one of your chakras holds a lesson. That's why I also will call the chakras emotional centers, because the chakras are not simply one thing, they're actually multidimensional. So I will call them emotional centers. And when I work with a client, and when I do my chakra reading, I can read their energy body. Space doesn't matter, distance doesn't matter. I do this over video chat. I can read their energy body, boom, boom, boom. Okay, you're out of alignment here. I typically will go into meditation to do that. A quick one. I can get into my channels and my meditation like really fast now. Yeah, and it's never been inaccurate. And then it's so beautiful that I also have a technique that I can actually read someone's subconscious mind. So I'll start picking up on the energy signatures of your trauma that is unresolved, that you're not seeing. But because I've done the work healing myself, now I can really do the work to help heal others. And that's really my main objective with my chakra reading or my intuitive reading, is to help heal. You know what I mean? It's to help. I've been in the trenches. I've gone through it myself, and this has worked for me. And now that I know that it works and it worked for me, I know that it's going to work for people who are out here in the world who really need the healing. And it's always those who are so resistant to it that need it the most. I always found that so interesting, because spirit will tell me when to hit someone up sometimes. They're like, oh, message this person. And I'm like, why? And they're like, just do it. Me trusting my intuition, I do it. And sometimes they'll know. And they'll be humble enough to be like, yeah, you know what? I'll book a session with you. I really do need the guidance. And other times, I know that they need it and I want to help them so bad. And they'll say no. And I'm like, damn, it breaks my heart to not be able to help. But, I stand on my square, and if somebody values what you have to offer, then, they'll book the session with you. And they'll want to put in some time and energy into that work. Just like when, if you think a book is very valuable, even if you have the PDF, sometimes you'll go and buy the actual book because you're like, I need to have this. It changed my life. That's the type of thing that I want to do in the world. I want to change people's lives that way. And I am off on tangents today, aren't I? All right, let's read some of the comments we have here. Marcus Bryant said, oh, God. All right. You guys are just mostly just tuning in right now. All right, awesome. So the whole thing about your chakras is that each and every one actually is an emotional center. For an example, your root really deals with stability. And if you were as a baby not in a stable environment, whether you remember it or not, your body remembers it. Your subconscious mind forgets nothing. So then that would be a chakra that you would have to balance out. That's actually something I've been working on slowly but surely, and I'm very proud to say it's really coming into alignment now, and that makes me like super happy because I'm a root chakra person. I really like structure. I don't know, my sacral's always been, I'm very creative, so my sacral's always been super active. So that was really, for me, I had to balance it out. My will, my third, sometimes it'll shift because I put my will forth in a very masculine way. So it'll shift to one side or the other. And these are the same things that I see when I read my own chakras, I read my client chakras, things, and I tell them what's going on. They don't say no. I've read people's destinies and stuff like that, and I hate doing those though, because the whole thing is like, when you tell someone what their purpose is, then you take away the joy that they feel from finding it. So I typically would try to just give people to think more critically about it, because it's always with you. It never left you. It's just you gotta dig through the garbage that you piled up over, all these responsibilities and things that you thought you had to do, and all these things that you thought you had to be. They pile up over that purpose that was so pure when you were a child. The only thing I used to say when I was a kid, other than that, I wanted to be like, Beyonce. I wanted to sing. I was like, oh, be a singer. No, that's not. And say we did. I used to sing in the bathtub. It was pretty funny. I used to always say that I wanted to change the world. And I think I found the way. My first job ever was at an Annie Says. And it was at an Annie Says. And, at the end of the night, me and the other girls, I was like 16 or like cleaning up or whatever. And they're like, so like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I was like, I just want to change the world. And everybody laughed at me. But it was okay, because I knew that I just wanted to change the world and I just wanted to help people. And I'm just very happy that I never lost that. And you never lost it either. You just forgot about yourself for a little while. So it's like, this is a beautiful healing journey back home. You do the healing to come back home, and the home is who you are, and it never left you. You just thought it did, but it never did. So that's the guide to your chakras. Okay. I don't see anything else right now, but thank you guys for just hanging out with me on this transmission. Does anyone have any questions or comments right now? Do you have any questions about your chakra system and how that actually relates to your life? They relate directly to your life. But does anyone have a question before I get out of here? Okay, Marcus said to check my messenger. Cool. And all right, that's it, I guess. So I love you guys. I love you infinitely. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. And how do you balance your root chakra? Okay, so we got one question from Justice. Justice, thank you for asking. It's a pleasure for you to be here. Thank you for coming on with us today. Okay, Justice. So, in the zone. Awesome content. Thanks, Joseph. Okay, Justice. So, how you balance your root chakra is I typically do a meditation to balance it out. And I actually imagine as I'm sitting that on my bottom, it's like I'm connected to the earth. And I imagine that the core of the earth is actually this beautiful crystal. This is actually how you're going to clear it. And as I'm sitting here meditating, I'm visualizing this beautiful crystal, and it's liquid and it's pure, like healing energy straight from the core of Gaia. And every time I breathe in, the roots go deeper. And then when I breathe out, the roots come up, and it only circles through the root chakra. So this is how you will learn to clear it. To balance your root, you really have to deal with any issues in your life regarding finances, feelings of insecurity, feelings of uncertainty, and that may go all the way back as far as your childhood. So it's going to be in your subconscious mind. It's more likely than not going to be inner child work. So I do encourage you, if you want to do the meditations yourself, by all means, I empower people to empower yourselves. You know what I mean? Do it. If your intuition is telling you do this ritual, do this, do that, follow your intuition. If you would like some guidance or assistance, please feel free to contact me. Okay, and that is all. All right, well, it was a pleasure being here with you guys. I'm out of here. I have homework to do. I'm going to school for psychology now. I'm gonna add that to the, business too. So I'll be doing that as well. So love you guys. Take care.